Hello and welcome to Before Exams. Here we help you to prepare for your competitive examinations. Subscribe to our channel so that whenever we post the content about your exam, you get the notification about it. Hello and welcome to this part of IELTS reading. In this section, we'll be talking about matching the information type of questions. Now, candidates often get confused with matching the information type of questions with the matching the heading and summary questions. There is a difference between these type of questions. In matching the heading and summary type of questions, we talk about the passage, we talk about the information of the passage as a whole. That is, we talk about the main idea of the passage. But in matching the information type of questions, we talk about a single information given in the passage. So we can go ahead and we can look for 2 to 3 information in a passage. So there could be 2 to 3 information in a passage which can be in our questionnaire. So that is what we have to look here. Now, in this lecture, we'll be learning about the overview, then we'll be talking about strategy, then tips, and then we'll be working on an example. So let's go ahead and work on it. So first of all, this type of question has high probability of appearance. You find these type of questions mostly in the second section, that is the second passage or the third passage in your paragraph. I'm sorry, in your test. Now in this, a list of information will be given. You have to figure out that information is from which paragraph. Information is taken from which paragraph. So there will be a series of paragraphs. Maybe there will be 4, 5, or even 6 paragraphs, and you have to find out that specific information is given in which paragraph. As I said, candidates, they often get confused with match the heading type of questions. So in match the heading type of questions, we will talk about the general idea of the paragraph. But in these type of questions, we only talk about a single information. For example, let's take an example. Let's take about the example of lion. So when we talk about lion, suppose in a passage, it is given about the eating habits of lion, that how does what all does a lion eat, how does lion eat, what are his nutrients, what are the main nutrients that he requires. So eating habits are being talked about. So if we'll be doing heading or summary kind of questions, then we'll be looking at the main idea, that is the eating habits of lion. But in match the information question, there could be the extra information which could be asked, like they can ask about the food that lion like. So they could be the information from a single line, that lion likes to eat deer, which is its favorite food. So we can talk about a single piece of information from the passage which could have no connection with the main idea of the passage. So this is the difference between the heading type of questions and the match the information type of questions. So what is the strategy that you should follow to attempt these questions? First of all, identify which type of question is it. It is. Never get confused with match the heading or match the summary type of question. Always read the instruction carefully. That is what I always tell you, to read the instruction to check if there are any word limits, although there will not be any word limit in these type of questions. But reading the instruction will give you an idea that what kind of question it is, whether it is match the heading or match the summary or match the information type of question. Okay. And also read the list of statements. First, read the list of statements, the problem statements, and then jump to the passage. Now, after you read the list of statement, from the first statement, underline the keyword in the statement, and then look for that keyword in the passage. That in which paragraph is that is that information located? And when you find that information, look for the information around that keyword. Skim and scan the passage for a quick understanding. In this kind of passage, you do not have to read in detail, because the information that you will find, that you'll find it in a single line. You do not have to worry about the whole meaning of the passage. So just skim and scan the passage, look for the keyword, and try to find the information around that keyword. Now, when you look for the word, it is not always that you'll find the same word or the exact word. Either you can look at the exact word. If you do not find the exact word, do not be confused, look for the synonyms of that word. Okay, so let's say if it talks about the what lion eats, the eating habits of lion, and then uh, in the passage it is given the diet of lion. So these could be the synonyms that could that you can see in your exam. We'll be working on these questions. Whenever I'll be giving you the practice material, you will see a lot of questions on this. So you'll see a lot of synonyms. You'll be working on synonyms. Always match the information against the passage. So last step will be to match the information. When you see the information, check the match the information against the passage and then mark the information. Now let's talk about some tips that or tricks that you need to keep in mind while attempting these questions. Always keep a check on similar statements. Now, just like the match the heading and summary kind of questions, these kind of questions, there could be same keywords for in 2 to 3 sentences. So this is done to confuse you. The examiner tries to confuse you. So never just be dependent on the keywords. Look at the main idea of the sentence, what the sentence is asking. So look at that and keep a check on similar kind of statements. So if there are two statements which have similar kind of keywords, so keep a check on that which is statement relates to the particular paragraph. As I said, always read the statement first. Never read the passage and then go to the statement. This will waste a lot of time because then you have to again go to the passage. So always read the statement first here. Figure out the general meaning of the text by skim reading it. This will help you to find which information is located in which passage. So when you read all the the problem statements, skim and scan the passage and try to write that what is being written in what is being conveyed in the passage. So just writing what is being conveyed in the passage, this will help you to find out the information. For example, it is given about it is given that what are the things that lion like to eat. Then you will know that it will be in the passage where I found the eating habits of lion. It will not be in the passage in which it will be given. It is mentioned about the physical appearances of lion. So it will not be given in that passage. You will straight away it will strike in your mind that it will be in the passage wherein eating habits of lion were talked. So what you can do is you can just directly jump to that passage and you can try to find the information from there. I hope you get it now. Now, if there are other types of questions present for the same passage, then do it at last. So if there are other type, for example, there are true, false, not given type of questions, there are summary type of questions, sentence ending types of questions, match the following type of questions, which are combined or which are also there in that kind of passage, then do the match the information type of question at last. Because in this, by this, what you will earn is when you will do the other kind of question first, you will already know that what is given in every passage, and this will really ease your ease the difficulty level. It will really help you to find the answers very quickly, because then you will already know that what is the general idea of the passage and what is the general idea of all the paragraphs. And when you have skim or scan the passage 2 to 3 times, it will also be easy for you to find the information from that passage. I hope you get it now. Also try to find the keywords like numerical values, names, places, as these are easier to find from the text. So whenever you look for the keywords, look for these things first, because this will be very easy to find. If you'll be finding numerical numerical values, it will be very easy to find while you will be skimming and scanning. And this can really help you to find the information around that keyword, and it can help you to find the answer. Now let's just look at an example here. So I'll give you some time, or what you can do is you can pause the video and you can read the text. Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's just see that what is being asked in this type of questions. So I'll attempt these questions for you, and then you'll come to know that what are the answers for it. So then you'll come to know how to attempt these questions. So in this, it is given a comparison of present and past transportation methods. So let's just underline the keywords: comparison, present, past, transportation methods. Now, in the second, the increasing use of motor vehicles, increasing and motor vehicles, right? So let's just look for these keywords or the synonyms for it. Let's just look for the first one here. Okay, so there are over 700 million motor vehicles in the world, and the number is rising by more than 40 million every year. The average distance driven by car is growing. Just give me a moment. The average distance by car is growing from 8 kilometers a day per person in Western Europe in 1965 to 25 kilometers a day in 1995. This dependence on motor vehicles has given rise to major problems, including environmental pollution, depletion of oil resources, traffic congestion, and safety. So this paragraph, what it is talking about? It is talking about the increase of vehicles. If I just summarize this in 3 words, it is increase of vehicles. Was there any problem statement which was talking about this? Yes, increase of motor vehicles was there. So what I'll do is I'll write it in rough that A could be its answer, but I'll not mark it right now. So while emissions from new cars are far less harmful than they used to be, city streets and motorways are becoming more crowded, often with older trucks, buses, and taxis. This concentration of vehicles makes air quality in urban areas unpleasant and sometimes dangerous. Even Moscow has joined the list of capitals affected by congestion. In Mexico, vehicle pollution is major health hazard. So what this paragraph is talking about? This is talking about the demerits of increased vehicles, right? It is talking about the increased pollution. So is there anything like that? No. Until 100 years ago, most journeys were in 20-kilometer range, distance conveniently accessible by horse. Heavy freight could only be carried by water or rail. So what it is doing, it is talking about past transportation methods. So we knew that there is a sentence problem statement which was talking about past. So I can just write it. The invention of motor vehicle brought personal mobility to the masses and made rapid freight delivery possible over a much wider area. So what it is talking, invention, that means it is talking about the present also. Today about 90% uniting is carried out by road. Clearly world cannot revert to horse-drawn wagon. Can it avoid being locked in congestion? So it is talking about the advancement, or it is talking about, we can say, the past and present vehicles, right? It is talking about this only. So let's just now try to figure out the answers. So increase of vehicles, increasing use of motor vehicles. This will be our answer because we didn't find any information in other passage. So A is our answer there. Comparison of present and past transportation methods. Okay, so it is talking about present and past. It was talking about past and present vehicles. Is there any other paragraph which was talking about past and present vehicles? No, there was not. So the answer of this will be C. So we were able to do it in less than, I think, 2 to 3 minutes. So this is when I was explaining you. When you'll be doing it yourself, you'll be doing it much faster after, obviously, after a lot of practice. Now, the thing is, in these kind of questions, it is not mandatory that you will find one answer from one paragraph. It could be the reason. It could have been the case that you could have found this information in paragraph A itself. I'm sorry, in paragraph A itself. So there will be some problem statements. Right now, we only had a word about 2 problem statements. Suppose there are 6 problem statements and there are only 4 paragraphs. So obviously, the paragraphs will be repeated. The information in the paragraph will be repeated. So in these kind of questions, never do the mistake of striking out the option that you have already done. So in the matching the heading and matching the summary kind of question, what we did was, if we found the answer in a paragraph, we used to just cancel it out. But in this type, we'll not do this because there could be the case that we can find the other problem statement, the information of the other problem statement from the same paragraph. So never do that, and the information is repeated here. I hope you now have a clear understanding of match the information type of questions. I'm sure you are now getting an idea that how you have to attempt different type of questions in IELTS reading. I will now suggest you to do a lot of practice on these type of questions so that you can be confident when you will be giving your exam. And for the assignment, what you can do is you can always mail me on the email address that will be given in the description, and you can attempt that. So that will be enough for today. I think you really enjoyed the lecture. I think you are gaining too much. I'll not say too much because it's never too much. So I hope you are getting the idea that how you have to attempt these kind of questions. I'll now suggest you to do a research and to do a lot of practice. So thank you and have a nice day to you. Bye-bye.